Hello and welcome to my tutorial series Baroque Improvisation for jazz guitarists. My name is Markus Fleischer. When you heard the music at the beginning of this video, you might wonder what has that to do with Baroque improvisation. You heard the first couple of bars of Autumn Leaves and it sounded pretty jazzy. But actually this idea I used in those couple of bars comes from Johann Sebastian Bach. I took this example out of the violin Partita I in B minor. There's a little piece called the Sarabande. I did a performance video, the link is somewhere here and you can check that out. So there's two measures going like this. Let me do that again. Let's take a closer look at this example. It starts on this chord, and as a jazz player you immediately say, hey, this is C sharp minor 7, shell voicing, no fifth, and it's like 2-5-1. You could also say, hey, that's F sharp 7 with a fifth in the bass, and sus going to the major third. That's also possible to see it like this. So then it goes flat 9, root, 7th, flat 13 or sharp 5, 5 to the third of the B minor chord. It's a good thing to analyze this in detail, but that's a lot of information that you should not use while you're improvising, of course. When you're improvising, you have to find the simplest way of seeing something like this. Like Joe Pass said, when he's playing standards, he thinks of minor, major, and dominant chords. And this whole thing, although it could be 2-5-1 or sus, and all that's correct and fine, but it's very cognitive, and we can condense that to its dominant action going to 1 minor. And that's the simplest way to see it and the easiest way to use this while improvising. So, F sharp 7, 1 minor. And then the melody goes up to the 4th and the bass goes down to a chord that could be interpreted as still kind of B minor with a 7th in the bass. You could also see it as D major 7 with 5th in the bass. And this goes in this original example to a G major chord. So the whole thing is like this. For practicing purposes, I wanted to use this example on all the chords of the first couple of bars of Autumn Leaves. And you can use that basically on any chord. So I started on C minor 7 first with this. Just the same, just on a minor 7 chord. We have the 5th on the bass, 7th, the 4th going to the minor 3rd, and then 9, root, 7th, 6th. I'm completely diatonic here in the key, and to make it a little bit more clearer, because we're starting here out of nowhere harmonically, I added the root of the C minor chord. So it's like this. then we go to the F7, the fourth of the F7, and then we should go to an F7 chord with the seventh in the bass. So I choose this one. So this is E flat, the seventh, major third, A, the D, it's the 13, and on top the fifth. Let me do that thing again. Okay, now we go to the B flat major seventh. And when you take the B flat major seventh, fifth in the bass, major seventh, and the fourth, that's possible too, but this sounds like an F7 chord at the beginning. So what I did, I took another option. I played a B flat 6 chord. So F, the fifth, the sixth, and then the fourth going to the third. Staying diatonic, and then E flat major 7. The fourth, it's sharp fourth. If you stay diatonic, you have to play an A, and that's the sharp 4 or sharp 11. You can also see it like this. And then we have to have an E flat sound with the seventh in the bass. So I took this one. It's a nice voicing. This is major seventh, the D, the G, major third, 6 or 13, the C, and then the fifth on top. So that's nice. When you go to the A flat minor 7 flat 5, fifth in the bass, then the seventh and fourth or 11 going to minor third. This sounds like E flat major, and that's okay. But to make it clearer, I put the A in the bass. You don't have to do this. If you play with a bass player, you totally can leave that out. But for this purpose, in this video, without a bass player, it's a little bit clearer, I think. So. Then D7, fourth. And then we have to have a D7 sound with the flat 7 in the bass. So I have this tricky, nice sounding chord. It's C, flat 7, then F sharp as the major third, then a B flat as the flat 13 or sharp 5, then you have to call it A sharp, and the clean pure fifth on top A. So we have the 5 and the sharp 5 against each other. I like that sound. So from the A minor 7 flat 5, and then for the G minor, I choose the G minor 6 sound in the beginning, so it's fifth in the bass, D, and then against that the E, the 4 going to minor third, and then on top 9, the A going to the F sharp, major 7, and I just run down the G minor major 7 arpeggio. So let me do the whole sequence again. Of course, there are several other ways to use this example. For instance, if you go to the F7, you could play this voicing. This is F root, the 4th, the flat 7, and the major 3rd. So you have 4th and major 3rd against each other. I really like that sound. And you can do the same when you go to the E flat major 7. So instead of playing this voicing with the 5th here, you can play this voicing. So it's root, sharp 11 or sharp 4, major 7 and major 3rd. That's also nice. And you can do the same on the D7. So A flat minor 7 flat 5, going to the D7 with the 4th here and the major 3rd together. Another thing I want to point out is when you go to the voicings with a 7th in the bass. So we have this C minor 7, F7, F7, 13 with the flat 7 in the bass. You have some distance between the top note, the melody note, and the note underneath that. And that's nice, because that top note sticks out more if there's some distance between the melody note and the rest of the voicing. And this example is doing this consistently. So if we go to the E flat major 7th with the 7th in the bass, we have this bigger interval here. And the same when it comes to the D7 with the 7th in the bass. It's always an interval of a 7th between the top note and the rest, and the next note of the voicing, and that's a nice way to let the melody stick out. The music of Johann Sebastian Bach is a great inspiration for me and a great source of ideas, and I really love to take those ideas and apply them to my idiom, to jazz, and I hope you like that too. And to conclude this video, I play the whole example for you again. So goodbye and take care.